Well, the wait is over. Let's get ready to talk about Rallye Monte-Carlo 2025 and the new season of the WRC. But before I properly jump into it, make sure to go into the description section and check out the linked video, which is a full season preview for what to expect for the WRC in 2025. It goes over some of the new rules, such as the removal of hybrid, and does a bit of an explain of the new point system. Second time in as many seasons it's changed. Though yeah, the start of a new season for the WRC, and it's great to have 10 Rally 1 cars taking the starting ramp. Thierry Neuville with the number 1 on the car will be opening the roads with Martin Vidager alongside. Then it will be followed by vice champion Elfyn Evans and Scott Martin. After that, we'll have Oid Tanak and Martin Yarveoya in the second Hyundai, followed by Sébastien Ogier and Vincent Londe in the second Toyota. Then we'll have our third Hyundai, newcomer Adrien Fourmeau with Alex Correa alongside. And then we have Takamoto Katsuta with Aaron Johnston alongside for Toyota. After that, we have the returning double world champion Carlo Rovanperä with Jonne Halttunen alongside. It's their first start at Monte Carlo in 2 years after they went part-time last season. Grégoire Munster with Louis Luca alongside will head up the charge for M Sport this season. Whilst newcomer to Toyota Sami Paeri will make his return with Marco Salmon alongside as he starts his full-time campaign aboard Toyota Gazoo Racing WRT2. And then our 10th Rally 1, the newest graduates to Rally 1, Josh McAlean with compatriot Owen Tracy alongside, who has gone in consecutive seasons, I believe, from Rally 4 to Rally 3 to Rally 2 to Rally 1. And speaking of Rally 2, let's talk about what to expect. There are a couple of people up at the top who we won't expect to see compete for points at this event. They haven't designated as one of their point scoring events. Those are the number 20, Oliver Solberg, with Elliot Edmondson alongside. It's a new venture for them as they team up with Toyota. They're going to be in the principal car that Sami Paeri won WRC2 with last season. Likewise, Gus Greensmith, who's sticking with the Fabia, is not competing for points here. Nor are the Toyota Gazoo Racing next generation cars of Hikaru Kaguri and Yuki Yamamoto, the same lineup that we saw last season. But do you know who is? 21, Nikolai Garajan, and the 22, Johan Russell. Teamed up last season as part of the DG Sport Teams Championship winning entry. Garajan's gone back across to Skoda. Russell is now with a PH Sport entry for Citroën, who have changed the livery to be a bit more like we saw Johan Benato's in the French Championship last season. It's a bit of a throwback to the Loeb era of liveries on the Zara. He is joined at PH Sport this season by his brother, Leo Russell, which is pretty cool to see. I was trying to think about this when the last time was that we had two siblings in the same team, and I've been really struggling. If somebody has an answer, please let me know in the comments. But also we have entered for WRC 2 points Roberto Dapra, who we've seen in the ERC, Charles Munster, younger brother of Gregoire, Olivier Bury, who is a bit of a veteran driver at this point in a old Rally 2 Evo, Maxime Potti, Eamon Boland is the leading Fiesta entry, and then we also have the likes of Eric Hammerly, who is aboard a Hyundai. Other names that stand out include Jan Cherney, who is behind the wheel of a Citroën C3. Philip Cohn, who is going to be behind the wheel of a Fabia with Ross Whittock alongside. Pablo Sarrazin, the son of former F1 and WRC driver Stefan Sarrazin. Sarrazin Motorsport are running the Iron Lynx entry this season, with Sarah Rumo also being entered for that. Then we have the likes of Rachele Samashini, and hey, this is one that I want to talk about as well, because Samashini, I believe, is somebody who is actually raising money for charity while competing. But also, we've got Henk Vossen, Now, Henk Vossen is entered into the Masters Cup, and Henk Vossen is somebody who has competed in the WRC since very early on. How early on? Well, his first WRC start was, I believe, in the 70s. Yeah, 1977 RAC Rally. Competed in the ERC as early as 1974 with a Saab. He's 79 years old. We saw him at the CER last season. Alongside him is William Wissenberg. And in terms of age gaps, Vossen will be turning 80 this year. Wissenberg is currently 21. We also have quite a lot of Rally 3s. 8 of them are entered in for WRC3, 4 of them Fords, 4 of them Renaults. Diego Dominguez Jr. will kick off his WRC3 defence with Rallye Monte-Carlo. Matteo Chatillon will be leading the Renault charge. Giovanni Rossi is behind the wheel of a Ford Fiesta. We also have Slaven Shekerica, Matteo Fontana, Arthur Plamorg, Yanis De Jong, and Eric Royer as our entries. So you have all 4 Renaults with all French crews, an all French crew behind the wheel of a Fiesta, and then 1 each for Paraguay, Croatia, and Italy. In addition to that, we have some Rally 4 entries, 7 on this list. The leading one, number 40, Elliot Delacour, son of Francois Delacour, 17 years old. We have a handful of Rally 5s and a handful of Rally GTs. Armand Fumal competed against Sebastian Loeb last season on the French Championship. Meanwhile, the 67 of Raphael Astier has Denis Girardet alongside. But that's enough about the entry list. Let's talk a little bit about the stages. And let's talk about the Thursday evening start. The first stage starts at 6 p.m. local time, and Parc Ferme is at 10 p.m. local time. It's strange. You've got 3 Thursday night stages. The first one is we're going to see again on Sunday, and I think the same with the third one. It'll also return on Sunday. So the first one that we have is Digne-les-Bains to Chaudon-Morant. It is a test that we have seen in the WRC before. I believe it was run in the opposite direction last season. But it has popped up on the Rallye Monte-Carlo going all the way back to 1977. Then we have Stage 2, Faucon du Coeur Brasier, which only makes 1 appearance this season as this Thursday night stage. It did pop up again as Stage 2 last season, though the route is slightly different. I believe it is still run in the same direction, though uses some different roads. And again, it's one that goes back all the way to 1980 on the WRC. Though from what I could see, I think the last time that has it ever actually been run in this kind of layout? I see Silene tended to make up this this stage. I think the closest that you can find for it is some more regional events. Stage 3 that rounds out Thursday is Avançon Notre-Dame-du-Lot, which is not one that really has popped up on Rallye Monte-Carlo before. I think it popped up in 2020 and also in 2019, but then the previous appearance you can see of this road is way back in 1977. Friday's 6 tests are a bit more familiar for the drivers, starting out with Saint-Maurice-Aubusson. That is one that we last saw in 2021 as Stage 2. I think that means this is the one where we had the famous crash for Teemu Suninen. I think that might have also been Stage 1. I'm struggling off the top of my head with that one. Though it is one that we've seen a few times before in Rallye Monte-Carlo, 2015 through 2017. Prior to that, 1994. Saint-Leger-les-Mélèzes, La Bâtie-Neuve, which is the second stage in both loops, is going in at 16.7 kilometers. It was last run last year, I believe, also in the same direction last year, but was consistently run between 2016 and 2020. It was an older stage as well, which came up in the early WRC editions of Rallye Monte-Carlo. And then stage 6 stage line is La Brioche-Salonnet. It has run this way in 2024 and 2021, taken away from Béziers-Salonnet in 2020, though this is a stage that we've seen many times in many different formats in Rallye Monte-Carlo. Now let's talk about Saturday, which also has 6 stages, 2 groups of 3. La Motte-Chalancon, Saint-Nazaire-le-Désert is a 27-kilometer test that takes a bit of a scenic route as well. It got some flat-out sections to it. It's largely popped up in Rallye Monte-Carlo Historic, or Rallye Historic de Dauphine as well. I think the last time that came up in Rallye Monte-Carlo itself was 2013, where it shared the what's going to be the first couple of kilometers, but in the opposite direction. I'm trying to find a time where it would have used the same roads, but I can't appear to find any, and the record on rallymaps.com goes all the way back to 1979. I think the closest you get is Group B in 1985. So, a proper classic stage. Likewise, 11 and 14 is Océlan Ricabeau-Jansac, a 21-kilometer test which has only ever shown up in historic events before. And even then, if you've run some of them, the closest that you've got is it being run in the opposite direction in 2022 as Rallye Historique de Dauphine. So, probably not one that a lot of people will have experience of. And likewise, La Bête de Font Aspremont, the third stage, just under 18 Ks. It has showed up in Rallye Monte-Carlo twice before. In 2021, it was run in the opposite direction. And in 2019, I believe it was run in the same direction as it is now as the Valdrome Sigotier test. Then we have Sunday stages. The first 2 tests are ones that we see on Thursday night. Stage 3 is stage 16, Avançon Notre-Dame-du-Lot. Then Digne-les-Bains, Chaudon-Noront is going to be the second test on Sunday. And then we end with the Col de Turini. I'm surprised that we only run through it once this season. It's not the one that people know and love from Dirt Rally. It's the one that you see in EA Sports WRC, though. So it's the one that we've seen a few times before. You're not finishing at the Col like we did last season, but we are going to run all the way back down as well. It's fun. It's great to have it. It's a power stage. And before I get anything in terms of forecast, it's currently covered in snow as of me recording this. So we could have a proper snowy Monte Carlo. Though, that said, a lot of the forecasts I'm seeing is saying we're going to have rain or just cold chills through the next few days. So it could be absolutely bone dry. This is something that Monte Carlo likes to throw up. All of these different surprises. It's why this Winter Classic has opened up the WRC for so many years. And even if it hasn't directly opened up the WRC, even if it's been, say, the second round of the season, it is the crown jewel. And in a way, I would say it's kept more up to date than the Monaco Grand Prix. Largely because it's run by the ACO in accordance with the French Association. It's usually based out of Gap, hometown of Sébastien Ogier. And yeah, they always try to find new ways to innovate. Which is why, in terms of ones to watch, you'd put your money on Sébastien Ogier. He last won in 2023, but the guy's a 9-time winner of the event. If he wins this time round, it'll be his 10th win. He's already one clear of Sébastien Loeb, who won it 8 times. But Ogier's 10th win would also be the 9th win for him in the WRC at Monte Carlo, which would be a WRC record. Thierry Neuville, who won in 2020 with that spectacular final corner, final stage win. I think over Ogier as well, wasn't it? Lost out 12 months prior to Ogier in 2019, with a last gasp effort from Ogier on his return to Citroën. Yeah, he won in 2024, and it was quite a convincing win as well. But these two drivers combined have won all the way back to 2014. Who won in 2013 and 2012, do you ask? Well, it was Sebastian Loeb. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one to watch. I've got to say that much. It is going to be a fun little thing to follow at the start of the WRC season. In terms of who to look out for in other categories, I mean, Grosjean was competitive last season, so was Johan Russell. It'll be interesting to see what Leo Russell does as well. But Oliver Solberg could really go all out if he wanted to try and win the RC2 class, given that he doesn't have eligibility for WRC2 points here. And as for WRC3, you'd be making a mistake to bet against Dominguez as the champion. Though, if you were going to, someone like Chatillon or Rossi are probably the safest bets. But on that note, thank you so much for watching and joining. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, both in terms of this video and in terms of the format as well. I haven't done a preview like this in a long time, let alone one that goes into so much detail. So if this is something you'd like to see, do let me know. But until next time, it's bye-bye for now.